The following is a paid program by Karl Sterling. The content of the show is that of Karl Sterling and does not represent the views of this station or iHeartMedia. Some of the information contained in this program has not been approved by the FDA, nor is it intended to diagnose, prevent, treat, or cure any diseases. Information hereafter is for general information only, and before considering anything discussed, you should contact your doctor or primary care physician.
One pill makes you larger, and one pill makes you smaller.
Your Health Matters with Karl Sterling on News Radio 570 WSYR on 106.9 FM and live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
I take a couple lovers, I down a couple downers, but nothing compares to these blue and yellow purple pills.
Bring you the latest in health and wellness so you can get to the other things that matter. Here is your host, Karl Sterling.
All right, and we're back. Wow, another week went by already. I can't even believe it. So first I want to say happy Easter to everybody who celebrates Easter.
Happy Easter, Karl.
Hey, thanks, Dave.
No problem.
And by the way, Dave, as always, thank you for what you do here to make this so easy for me.
It's my job.
Thank you. Yeah.
I just press buttons.
Well, I don't know which ones to push. So the good thing you're here, man.
Just turn the mic on, and there you go.
Yeah. Well, this show, as you know, is called Your Health Matters. You know, we're exploring this journey towards a healthier you, healthier me, healthier us. But today, being a special day for a lot of us out there, as we gather with friends and maybe have family this Easter, a time of renewal and rebirth, I was thinking we could reflect on the rejuvenating of our own health. You know, Easter reminds us of new beginnings and the perfect opportunity to renew our commitment to health and well-being. Like I always say, I don't necessarily stay healthy just for me, although I like to stay healthy. I like to feel good. I like to have energy. But I need to do it for you because it ain't about me. This is about we. You know, I really went through a long time, I think, in decades of my life of being at least somewhat self-centered, wanting to be validated in different ways, you know, whatever. Awards, trophies, whatever, you know, standing ovation, playing in front of a big crowd of a couple thousand people when I was a drummer. It felt really good to me. It made me feel really important. However, it's just a thing. It's just a thing that happened. Nothing wrong with it. I mean, yeah, it was great. What a rush, you know. But it ain't about me. It's about we. Because if I stay healthier, I can be better for other people. And that would include everyone who is in my life, my family, my friends, and my clients at my clinic, right? So let's embrace the spirit of renewal to nurture our bodies and minds. So join me, folks, in this hour. Stay with me. I got a lot to talk about as we share tips and insights on living a healthier life. And it's inspired by the season of renewal. So happy Easter. And remember, your health truly does matter. And if it doesn't matter to you, it does matter to others. There are people out there who want you to be healthy because they love you and they care about you. I'm starting a new little thing starting right now. Book of the Week, podcast of the week. All right, so here's the book of the week. I highly, highly recommend, if you don't have it, find a way to get it. It's called Outlive, one word, Outlive. The subtitle is The Science and Art of Longevity, and it's written by the one and only Dr. Peter Attia. All right, so you've probably heard of Peter Attia. I met people this week who came into my clinic for the first time, and they were talking about Peter Attia. He's very popular. But the thing about Dr. Attia that I really like is where he gets his information. Okay, and it's coming from, you know, almost nearly everything he says, I completely agree with. And, of course, I'm not smart enough to really argue with anything. So if I think anything is off, for example, well, I go look it up. Well, there you go. He's right. Okay, people have other opinions too. There are other doctors out there who that will be contrary maybe to certain things he says. But I'm going to tell you right now that that book is my favorite book about longevity. Outlive. Podcast of the week, The Drive. Oh, guess who that's by? That's Peter Attia. So if you go to peterattiamd.com, that's Peter, Peter, Attia, Attiamd, so peterattiamd.com, you can find the podcast through his website. I also want you to know that previous episodes of this show, Your Health Matters, and the upcoming show schedule are available on my website, which is karlsterling.com. That's Karl with a K. All right, we also have a website, I should say an emailing list right on the front page. You go to karlsterling.com, the landing page right there, right at the top in the center, front and center. You can't miss it. Sign up. It's free. And we're not going to sell your information to anybody. We're not going to give it away. We're not going to make money off your email address. We're here to just keep you informed on things. Because there's a lot of articles coming out starting tomorrow. Okay, so let's talk longevity. So with rare exceptions, life expectancy has been on the rise in the U.S. Dave, did you know in 1900... life expectancy, boy, I'm having trouble with that word today. Life expectancy was 47 years in 1900.
Wow.
I know, right? Wow. And then it was 68 years old in 1950. Okay. Now, by 2019, it had risen to nearly 79 years.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, so we've really come a long way. You know, we're going to talk a little bit today about medicine 1.0, 2.0, and 3.0, and exercise, what I consider 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, because you should be in 3.0 right now with your medicine and your exercise. But then, check this out, Dave.
Yep.
Life expectancy fell to 77 years old in 2020 and dropped to 76 in 2021. Kind of interesting.
Maybe.
A little bit had to do with COVID.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. I think that might have had a little bit to do with it, but I think, and Dr. Barry has talked on air with me about this.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, the COVID probably taught us to be more healthier, exercise more, and be more conscious of ourselves and our bodies. So hopefully that life expectancy goes back up again.
Yeah.
But that's just my quick little opinion on that.
Oh, I think you're right. So if we look at the general trend, I mean, expectancy has been going up. And I think it'll continue to go up as we live into, let's call it medicine 3.0 and exercise 3.0. I coined that one by myself, by the way. Exercise 3.0.
Did you trademark that?
No, I should probably do that.
Ooh.
Yeah. So here's the deal. We've got, let's see, figures that represent averages total from hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people sorted into specific groups, and some groups fare much better than others. Well, that would be a month of shows in and of itself. I have 21 pages of notes here, too, and there's no way I'm going to get through it. But I do that every week. So in comparison to 1975, I want to talk about this as well, okay? And I'm going to tell you right now, I am never here to shame anyone. I don't want you to feel bad, okay? I've been obese in my life. I've been overweight. I could still stand to lose maybe 10 pounds. But I'm also in the best shape of my life now. I feel better than ever. All of my blood work, everything. I worked hard for this, right? I worked very hard, especially after the blood clots I had that almost killed me in Singapore 5 years ago in June 1st or so. Well, you know, a lot of people are dealing with way worse stuff than I did when I was there, but it was a wake-up call, 12 time zones away, thinking I might die. Seriously, the pain was unbearable. I just can't even describe it. But it also taught me I needed to lose some weight because I had gained some weight back then. I was about 20 pounds heavier then than I am now. It was all just fat. There was less muscle and way more fat. I'd been traveling. It had been a tough time. I have trouble traveling and, staying active and just getting enough sleep. But in the in comparison to 1975, the obesity rate in the United States had been increasing. Okay. In the early 1960s, about 13% of Americans were considered obese. This is according to the CDC. By 2023, that number has risen to approximately 43%. Okay, so it's more than tripled in the last 6 decades. And I was born in 61, so there you go. Severe obesity, also known as morbid obesity, rose tenfold during the same period. So in about a minute or so, we're going to head out for a break. Well, let's just continue on this for one moment. Okay. Let me get to the okay. When comparing these numbers to other countries, the United States has just historically been one of the nations with the highest rates of obesity. Global data indicates that obesity is growing. It's a problem growing worldwide, not just in the United States. And I've seen that. I've been all over the world multiple times. So, I've seen it. But I've also seen where I've been in countries that are generally, let's say, leaner, more active, probably healthier populations. And then I get back to the States and boom, there it is. And there are times when I've come back and I've been the heavy one. Okay. So I'm not trying to shame anyone. Never, ever, ever would I do that. All right. So we got one more thing to say here. Then we're going to go to a break. So a projection from a national survey suggests that by 2030, 86.3% of adults in the U.S. could be overweight or obese. And, the trend mirrors global. In other words, this is mirroring us globally, but they're a little behind us. A lot of countries. Many countries are behind us in this. So we're not going to be talking about obesity much longer today when we come back. But we will talk just a little bit more, and then we're going to get into some things that I think you're going to be really interested in because we got some game-changing information. Okay, you're listening to Your Health Matters here on News Radio 570 WSYR. We'll be back in a couple. Okay, we're back. So a little bit more about this obesity thing, okay? We're going to talk about how to measure it and all that kind of stuff after a little bit. What I want to say first, though, is, again, never do I want anyone to feel guilty. I was complacent for many years when I was overweight, and then I didn't have years and years and years being obese, but I had a period where I really peaked out, really lost control. So I was complacent, and what I want to say is some people are complacent and they're happy, and if you're happy, that's nothing wrong with that. I'm not trying to make you think, hey, he's telling me I'm wrong and I shouldn't be this way. No, but there are a lot of people who are trying. They're trying to, let's say, improve their health, their conditioning, their level of fitness, their strength, their balance, their movement, and increase their life's, let's say, health span within their lifespan. And so I've been in the spot multiple times, but way before I got into this business, where I was doing things thinking I'm going to, lose that weight I want to get rid of and build muscle. But I was doing things that weren't quite as effective as what I needed to do. And this is when Eric Prager, if you happen to listen, when I called Eric, he's a great trainer. He's skinny Atlas based. Love him like a brother. And he's just so good, right? So he guided me. That's actually largely the reason I got into this business, is because he inspired me, lost a lot of weight, showed me what I needed to do. Like, where do we spend our time exercising? What is going to be the most effective form or plan of intervention for us? So we're not wasting our time doing stuff where we just stay the same and nothing really happens, because that can happen. Okay, but what I want to also let you know is that this obesity or morbid obesity, this can lead to all kinds of problems, and I'm just going to go through the highlights real quick, then we move on. Cardiovascular diseases, metabolic disorders, type 2 diabetes possibly. These are possibilities, folks. It's not like everyone's going to get everything or anything, but it's likely something bad is going to happen. Respiratory problems, breathing problems, obstructive sleep apnea, let's say obesity, hypoventilation syndrome, OHS. Horrible thing to have. Osteoarthritis, gout. Now, there are people who think your liver can go bad only if you're drinking alcohol. Let me just tell you something, folks. Non-alcohol fatty liver disease is real. Okay? So if you're eating poorly and your liver's bad, you change your diet. You can change it more than likely. Highly likely that you can. Acid reflux, endocrine and reproductive health issues, cancers, psychological issues, and life expectancy is probably going to decrease. All right, so really when we look at this, to summarize this, and I move on. Addressing morbid obesity often requires a multifaceted approach, including dietary changes, physical activity, behavioral therapy, or changes, let's say. I'm not trying to tell anyone they need therapy, but maybe that would be helpful. You know, I've had it, so I'm not ashamed of it. And possibly medical or surgical interventions. It's crucial for individuals facing morbid obesity to seek professional health care guidance to manage and mitigate the risks that go along with it. So I'm going to propose to you folks that while we have what is known as an epidemic of obesity, we also have physical activity being an inactivity. I'm going to propose that physical inactivity is a disease state. We've been fighting an obesity epidemic for the last 50 years. And where have we gotten? Well, maybe it's not just fat that's the problem. So here's the thing. It's very, very likely that it's also a lack of muscle problem, insufficient muscle mass. We talked about this maybe the second or third show I did. Maintaining sufficient muscle mass throughout the lifetime. This is crucial because muscle is actually it's an organ. It is the organ of longevity. And if muscle is a problem when we're under-muscled, well, we have a metabolic problem more than likely, because at the root of all of this is skeletal muscle. So this being muscle, building muscle, this is the new treatment for hypertension, obesity, cardiovascular disease, dementia, and Alzheimer's. And of course, I'm not a doctor. I'm not saying that's the only thing, and you should check with your doctor before you start any exercise program. I have to say that, so I said it. But chances are you could probably get going with something, even if it's real light, and do something about it. Okay, because muscle is going to regulate your metabolism, is going to enhance glucose uptake and insulin sensitivity. It's going to enhance your physical strength and mobility, your balance. It's going to help you to prevent disease, chronic diseases, through anti-inflammatory substances produced by muscle. It's going to help with your energy expenditure. Okay, it's going to help with your resting metabolism. You're going to burn more calories when you have more muscle, because that's where metabolism happens, my friends. It is the organ of longevity. It's responsible for so much. It's not just muscle, it's an organ. Okay, with that, let's go into something before the half-hour break. Now that we know that muscle is important and it can help us to fight these things like Alzheimer's, dementia, cardiovascular disease, hypertension, obesity, and much more, let's go into talking about this medicine history. Okay, medicine 1, 2, and 3.0. Now, I didn't make this one up. Okay. Medical history. Let's see. What have we been doing? Well, we're doing a lot of stuff. Okay, and what's the future of medicine? When we look at medicine 1.0, we're focusing on, let's say, standardized treatments and reactive care. All right, well, that's really, really broad. But let's just say you get sick, you go to the doctor, and hopefully the doctor helps you. Okay. Once antibiotics came into the picture. This marked a key transition in modern medicine. They were pivotal for let's say, the beginning of medicine 2.0. Oh, we got antibiotics to help fight off things, infections that we have. Well, this is a lifesaver. Do I like them? Yeah, of course I do. Only when I need them. I don't want to rely on these things because eventually, they can do. You can take too much of anything. Everything's good. Everything that's good for you is good for you until it's no longer good for you. Okay, I didn't make that up either. Next week, my guest, he made that one up, Dr. Perry Nicholson. We'll talk about next week in a minute. It's going to be great. Medicine 3.0, well, these are advances into the holistic realm of medicine, treating the body as a whole, right? Being predictive about what we might be facing, partially based on genetics, maybe some of the 23andMe and this and that and all the genetic testing you can have done, and knowing what you might be predisposed to facing, and then helping to prevent these things by what we call preventative care, right? So all this stuff, folks, this is so important. When we come back, we're going to talk about exercise. There's various modes of exercise that can help us to move better. By the way, go to karlsterling.com, Karl with a K. Visit the site, call me up if you have any questions, 315-935-7488. And we're going to be back in a couple of minutes, my friends. Okie dokie, everybody. Here we are again for the second half of the show. Your Health Matters here on News Radio 570 WSYR. It's also available on 106.9 FM. Dave, 106.9 FM sounds cool. It's stereo.
Yeah, it's FM.
What's funny, though, is I like the staticky sound of AM because it's like it leaves more to my imagination. Isn't that funny? I'm just one of those guys. But it is available for those who like stereo. It's great that you're on both AM and FM. Okay, let's talk about something, let's say, inspiring, I hope, because that's really what I'm here for. I don't want to sound preachy or anything like that. I didn't have any kind of faith for a long time in my life, most of my life, and now I do. And, I went to a beautiful mass this morning, a Holy Family, Father Bill. I got to tell you, Father Bill, if you ever hear this show, I just love you. You are just an amazing human being. The band, Rob Morey, Joe Czar, Joe DeVoli, I think it's Chrissy was singing, and Tony on keyboards. I mean, the music just filled my eyes with tears at times. And, the sermon, the homily today was just beautiful. Beautiful message about renewal, rebirth, not just, for ourselves and celebrating life. And so I'm here, I serve God. I serve people. This is my mission. It's not about me. This is about we. Yeah, I have a business, and yeah, I'm on the radio, and I'm promoting the business. And you know why? Because we do stuff at my clinic that people just don't do anywhere else around here. And there's a reason why, and it's because I can't accept normal, because normal gets normal results. I'm not willing to deal with it. I've seen too much of my travels around the world. I've seen what seems to be miracles happen, which actually aren't even miracles. It's just knowledge put into use. So I have learned and collaborated and researched and all kinds of things. Every day I'm learning, every single day. And so I put this all together because, if you've been in our clinic before, you know that we're always getting something sent to us, let's say. I mean, occasionally I'll buy something. A lot of times just because it just so happens the social media following right now is close to 500,000. I mean, thank you. Thank you for that to the followers out there. But, when we post, we drive business. When I post, I drive business to those people who sell the product that we use, that we love, because we're here to make a difference. We're here to change things. And this is where I want to get into, real measurable change. If we look at the history of exercise and fitness, First, we have to realize that if we're dealing with some kind of a health problem, or we're just stagnant, we're sedentary, we're obese, or we just don't feel good, could be underweight and under-muscled. We see a lot of that, especially in the aging population. Well, don't ignore these things. If you want to feel better, if you want to feel better, don't ignore where you're at. Come see us and let us at least take some baseline measurements and deal with your truths, okay? Because that's the only way out. Well, I should say it's the only way forward other than putting in the efforts. You know, when we look at pre-1940s, exercise was more like, incidental. I mean, gyms were around, but it was different because there was so much manual labor and daily life activities that just caused people to move more. So even though they weren't living as long, and that has a lot to do with, I imagine, medication and medicine being different, they were still moving and there was less obesity. Okay, whatever. 1940 or so to 2000, early 2000s, maybe 2010-ish, there's the rise of scientific fitness research, formal exercise programs, gym culture, and then also aerobics. There was everything, like especially back, I think in the 80s, 90s, it was cardio, aerobic. Nothing wrong with that. HIIT training, high-intensity interval training, right? Well, post-2010, and now especially, and especially with my connections, because I have a lot of connections outside Syracuse, all over the country, all over the world, who I communicate with every day. I'm communicating with somebody. And so we're looking at huge emphasis on diversity, personalization, integrating technology, and with more of a holistic fitness focus designed for you. All right, so the future of exercise at my neuromotor training longevity clinic focuses on primarily the following. A lot of stuff, but we're gonna talk about what's most important, in my opinion. Data is king. If you're not assessing, you're guessing, okay? And you're likely wasting time, maybe doing exercises that aren't as effective as you want them to be. We have numerous baseline measurements that we can take and offer you this information because data is king. For example, you come into our clinic, even if it's just to check it out, I'm going to give you a free body composition analysis, okay? We're going to know your total body fat, your total muscle mass in pounds. We're going to know your weight, your metabolic age, which is the age you're burning calories at approximately. What do we got? Hydration level, visceral fat, bone mineral density. Then we have segmental fat, how much percentage fat is in each arm, left arm, right leg, left leg, and your trunk. And the same thing for muscle mass. What's your total body muscle mass in pounds? And how much pounds of muscles, how many pounds of muscles do you have? Arm, leg, trunk. We have a multitude of strength assessments that we do, a multitude of balance assessments. And for those who are maybe looking for more of a memory, cognitive rehabilitation, because we do a lot of that, cognition and memory assessments, many of which we do are standardized and recognized globally by the medical world, and some I came up with on my own, or I learned from other people. We do metabolic testing. Okay, this is a game changer, folks. We do VO2 max testing, lactate threshold testing, visual testing and rehab, vestibular, because all these things, these are measurable. We can measure these things, how well you're performing in these areas. So these are highly personalized interventions to get you towards your goals without wasting time on exercises that don't help you as much as you want. Now, how are we going to do this? Well, a lot of it has to be habit formation. Not only exercise, but nutrition, sleep. All right, I can help you with your sleep. I'm good at helping people to sleep better. All right. By the way, just an offshoot here, we do a lot with pain management, and we're very good at it. We don't use anything like drugs, pharma. I'm not a doctor, but I have therapies that work very, very well for acute and for chronic pain. So forming new habits, how are you going to do this? Well, you start small. Set a realistic goal. Track your progress. Maybe reward yourself somehow. And get support from others. Because as Dr. Terry Walls says, by the way, that show airs. I pre-recorded it. The Walls Protocol. Dr. Terry Walls comes on 4 weeks from today. We'll air that. It's really a wonderful program. As she says, well, I'm not ready for that yet. I'm going to tell you what she says in a minute. So we need to be patient and consistent. Plan ahead. Adjust as needed. Focus on the positive. Don't be talking down to yourself. If you don't have a good day, you're not lifting as much, you're not doing your cardio's not where you want it to be. Don't worry about it. I have my ups and downs. Right? I had a bad lifting day the other day, and then the time before and the time I had great lifting days. When I lift again, it'll be whatever it is. But if I put in the effort, that's better than not doing it. And, of course, educate yourself, and we're here to help you with that. So bottom line is we are set up to help you set yourself up for success in your longevity and quality of life goals. Okay, now, what Dr. All says, and this is a very, very important thing, family involvement and intervention, if you will, in some cases maybe, but family support and involvement is far more effective than an individual trying to change habits without the support of loved ones, family, and maybe some friends. So don't let your friends tell you what you can't do. You tell yourself what you want to do and then figure out a way to do it. Maybe they'll come along for the ride with you. All right? I get so excited about this stuff. I'm so excited for every new day. When I go to bed at night, I count my blessings every single day, every single night. When I go to bed at night, I can't wait to get up early the next day. I don't sleep in anymore. Not ever. No days. And start in the work that we do to help people because we see such beautiful results happening. So with that said, we're going to head out to a break. And thank you for listening. This is Your Health Matters News Radio 570 WSYR. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. Okay, we're back for the last quarter, folks. My name's Karl Sterling. Always thrilled and honored to be your host here of Your Health Matters. All right, let's pick up where we left off. We're moving forward with some of the things that I'd like to talk about that we have that, if you're not in this area in Syracuse and you can't make it to my place, find somebody in your area who might have some of this stuff because it's game-changing. Whole body vibration. I told people we're going to talk about that today. Well, here we go. We have I'm blessed to have the top-end power plate made in the world. Power plate makes all kinds of vibration devices for whole body and segmental vibration. Well, I'm going to tell you something. First of all, the number one most popular device in my clinic is the power plate. And I'm going to tell you also that if you have any other brand of vibrating device for therapies, if you don't have a power plate, you're not going to get the same effects. It doesn't mean you won't get positive effects, but you won't get it if it's not power plate. They don't pay me to say that. I'm just telling it's true. All right, I've been around. I've seen what's out there. I've used it in travels around the world. Power plate is the best. Well, what can it do for you? I'm just going to give you the highlights. It can help with muscle strength, increased flexibility, balance and coordination. It'll help wake up the nervous systems and the brain so you get more nerves woken up, more sensory input to the brain so that your brain calculates and immediately sends an output signal to help you move, stabilize, balance better. All right? Boost your explosive power. Yes, it can do that. It's going to help you with your weight loss and metabolism by enhancing your metabolic rate. It may not do it for some, but it's likely to do it for most of us. Okay? It can increase your caloric burn and reduce your visceral fat. That's that really nasty fat that's way inside around the organs, and it's I've heard it referred to as the heart attack fat. All right, we got to get that down. For rehabilitation and health, it can help to improve bone density. Yes, people, we have people, before I got the biodensity machine, which we'll talk about in a minute, people were just on the power plate, and guess what? Their DEXA scans started coming back, showing their bone density was improving. It's great for enhancing circulation of blood and lymphatic fluid drainage, lymph system. By the way, next week, Dr. Perry Nicholston is on my show, and the entire show is going to be about the lymphatic system. He is the lymph doc. That's what they call him, the lymph doc. You do not want to miss this show. Yes, they're all recorded, but I'm just telling you, I'm so excited to have him on. We've been good friends for over 10 years. He is the lymph doc. He's going to talk about why it's so important to get our lymphatic system flowing so we can reduce inflammation and pain and get rid of those toxins and live a better, longer, healthier quality of life. Pain management. We have people come with neuropathy, diabetic neuropathy, all kinds of pain. And guess what? Generally speaking, their pain is diminished, let's say a lot, and a lot of times it's gone with vibration. It can help improve joint function, enhance your recovery after exercise, reduce stress levels, increase production of human growth hormones, necessary ones, obviously, and improved neuromuscular efficiency. All right, it's a fantastic. You got to come over and check it out. 315-935-7488. I'll say it again before we go. That's my phone number. 315-935-7488. You just call me or text me. Set up a time. We'll get you in. There's no charge to come in and check it out. I'm not even a sales guy. Anyone who knows me out there, you're going to say I'm a horrible salesperson. You know, just try it out. If you like it, you're going to sign up. If you don't, you leave. But at least you'll know. All right, so we also have segmental therapy, which I do a lot of that in the pain management, because this can help on segments like maybe it's your low back, maybe it's your upper glute area, which a lot of times is, the piriformis and all this other stuff, sciatic area. Well, people have pain there, or they don't know they have it until we get at it, and we release some of those tight muscles segmentally with, let's say, maybe a gun, meaning a vibrating gun, that is. Okay? So all of these things, vibration-wise, are game changers. Okay, let's move on. We have the biodensity machine. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, we've had people come in with their DEXA scans who are out of osteoporosis, moving backwards now, or I should say forwards, into osteopenia, and in some cases, they might even be slightly into the normal bone density measurements with healthy bone tissue. Isn't that cool? So if your doctor tells you you need Fosamax, I'm not saying you don't. I'm no doctor. But I'm saying don't let them tell you you can't reverse osteoporosis. Can everyone do it? I don't know. Can a lot of people do it? Absolutely, yes. We have the machine to do it. It's the only one between, I think it's Utica and Rochester. So you come in, you try it out. There's no charge to try it out. And, if you invest in the program, it's all on my website, pricing and everything like that, karlsterling.com, Karl with a K. You're going to love it, right? You get a free membership to the gym during the duration of your investment in the biodensity bone health program. It also builds strength, muscle mass, improves health and well-being. Also helps to lower A1C for a lot of people and help to reverse diabetes, type 2 diabetes, okay? It can improve insulin sensitivity and overall general health. Also want to talk with you about the newest thing we have. Thank you, Benga from Newgate, and my dear friend, love him like a brother. If you're listening, Eric Parcells, hope you don't mind I said your name. He runs a company called Exer Tools. Yes, EXERtools.com. An amazing individual, highly inspirational to me, changed my life. He introduced me to the system Newgate. We have people coming in. This is a wearable device designed to assist individuals with gait and mobility, okay, if they have those challenges. I know they created it for athletes, but guess what? We use it for anyone who is challenged or wants to improve their gait. I even tried it on. It's going to help me with my running. Okay, it serves as a rehabilitative tool for those recovering from injuries, dealing with muscular weaknesses, or experiencing movement disorders. It's a series of the harness, the belt, the things that go around above and below the knee, and then these they're like bungee cords almost. And we strap different tensions on to help your body move the way it was designed to move. Because, when you walk, folks, you're not supposed to have to think about walking. If I cue you to swing your arm reciprocal to your leg, Well, that's you got to think about it. That's just it doesn't work that well. It's not that it can't work, but this system causes you to move. And we even had a lady come in the other day, try it for the first time. She was probably in it for 30 minutes. Guess what? She walks in and walk with a walker. She walked out with residual effects and then went out that night with her husband and walked into the venue they were going to instead of a wheelchair in. This is a game changer. Newgate. You come and check it out. All right? Oh, man. I got 21 pages and I'm only through 15. So I'm just going to say this. We got a little over a minute to go. I want to thank producer Dave. Thank you, my friend. It's good to have you here.
Not a problem.
I don't get to see you enough, but when you're here, I love having you here.
Not a problem, Carl. Happy Easter, buddy.
Yeah, happy Easter to you, my friend, and thanks for everything. And folks, I hope you enjoy this Easter. I hope you consider the renewal of maybe your health and your fitness journey, your health journey. I am here to help you. 315-935-7488. My name is Karl Sterling. My website's karlsterling.com, and that's, of course, Karl with a K. I should probably buy the other one with a C if it's available, in case I type it wrong, right? I got 20 seconds to go. No, I got 15 seconds. I'm going to say, next week, join me, Dr. Perry Nicholson. 2 weeks from now, Dr. Ray Dorsey. 4 weeks from now, Dr. Terry Walls. We're over and out, folks. Happy Easter. Thank you for everything. See you next week.
The proceeding was a paid program by Karl Sterling. The content of this show is that of Karl Sterling and does not represent the views of the station or iHeartMedia. Some of the information contained in this program has not been approved by the FDA, nor is it intended to diagnose, prevent, treat, or cure any diseases. Information has been for general information only, and before considering anything discussed, you should contact your doctor or primary care.